Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. These are the days of the week.
I don't know, Mr. Harrington. It's disconcerting, to say the least. You know, I'm as patriotic as any other mayor in this country, but something like this, right here in our own backyard.
Well, Mr. Mayor, that's precisely why I came here to Pleasantville. You see, the Pentagon sent me here to dispel some of the popular myths about experimental chemical warfare. You know, it's not as horrible as it sounds.
Well, you're the expert, but it still sounds dangerous.
Well, no more dangerous than sticking a baby's head through a buzzsaw. You get my point? What I'm saying is that it's dangerous and silly, so we don't do it. I mean, we're talking about the involvement of the United States government here, and they wouldn't do anything dangerous.
Drink, Mr. Harrington?
Bourbon?
You know, that's all well and good, but I have one small question. Why Pleasantville?
Why not?
You don't beat around the bush. I like that in a man. All right. Mr. Harrington, if you want to conduct war games, these chemical war games in Pleasantville, it's all right with me. But you might have one small problem.
What's that?
Well, the land that you want to conduct these training games on isn't owned by the city. It's owned by a May Madlock.
May Madlock?
One of the wealthiest women in Pleasantville. Unfortunately, her husband just left her, poor thing.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. He died?
No, he just left her for a younger girl.
Oh. So she's completely on her own then?
Yes, and pretty shaken up about it. I don't think this would be the best time to approach her on this thing.
Oh, I don't know about that, Mr. Mayor. As long as she's got a good set of legs and wears a nice dress, I think I can handle myself.
Well?
He bought it. Hook, line, and sinker.
So he thinks you're from the government?
Shut up. Now listen, call Carlos. Tell him to get his men into Pleasantville here immediately. As soon as I get the land from this Madlock dame, we can start training the men for a takeover of Washington, D.C.
Thank you, Mrs. McKay. Mrs. McKay, you better relax. You keep getting up and you go over there and then you come back here and then you sit down and then you go up there again and then you come back here and then you sit down. Then you go up there and you stand up there for a while and then you come back down here and you sit down.
Yes, Mojo, you're right.
Then you get back up again and you go over there and then you go over there and you come back down here and you sit down again and then
Mojo, I get the point. It's just that my son Billy will be here any minute. And I'm nervous, that's all.
Mrs. McKay, do you know what I do when I get nervous?
What? Mojo, when Billy does arrive, will you leave us alone for a while? So we can talk?
Why?
It might be awkward for Billy. And for me.
And for me?
Yes, for you. The last time I saw him, I'll never forget. He was no bigger than...
This cup?
No, he was a little bigger than that. But his little head was just a mass of golden locks. And his skin was so fair. He looked just like the Prince of England. Oh, that's him.
Turns on pretty girls like you.
Hey!
Dr. Sabian.
Well, I'm glad you could make it.
Nice to see you, man.
Sit down.
Well, I just came by for my test results, and then I guess I'll get on with my life.
Yeah. So, how are things down at the cafe?
Great. I was held over for another 2 weeks.
Great.
You know, Doctor, I think my music is really starting to get through to people, which is great because when the audience starts to really understand your music, when they know where you're coming from, when they start digging what you're into, that's the beginning of a musical career. Doc, I think I got a shot at being the greatest rock and roll singer that ever lived. I don't know, I just feel great today. I feel great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great, Clay. Well, Clay, I don't want to burst any bubbles, but we have to talk.
Well, what is it, Doc? Is it about my test results?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Well, tell me, Doc. I mean, give it to me straight. I can take it.
Clay, it's... Look, I don't want to sound like a cliche, but, well, it's kind of been a good news, bad news day for me. I won't pull any punches. The bad news is... Well, I'm glad they didn't hold you over longer than 2 weeks. Clay.
Man.
Clay, look, I know how you feel.
No, man, no.
Hey, it could be worse.
How?
Well, it could have been me.
Man.
I'm sorry, Clay. Bad time for a joke. Sometimes in the medical profession, levity acts as a magical potion for pain.
2 weeks? You're saying I've only got 2 weeks to live?
Well, give or take a couple of days. Clay, look, I know you and Sue Ellen Allison were planning to be married soon. Now, if you like, I could talk to her for you.
No, man, no. I've got to do it myself. I've got to tell her. How do you tell someone you love that...
Build a marriage, one short-bellied answer to destroy it. It doesn't matter. I wish them both well. I understand it perfectly. Why not settle for someone younger, someone more attractive, someone who can dance on a tumbler? That's just the way life is. I can accept it. One more drink. Then I'll be on my way. Oh. The door's open.
Mrs. Medlock?
You must be the young man from the Pentagon.
Word travels fast here in Pleasantville. Incidentally, hemp is still more effective than nylon. I trust I didn't come at a bad time.
Don't be silly. I was just doing some housework. It's my maid's day off.
Would you like a refill?
Thank you.
By the way, I was very sorry to hear about your husband.
Shh. I'd completely forgotten about that. I don't think about that anymore, Mr. Harrington. No. Shh. I don't fret about the little things. I'm much too strong for that.
You know, they told me you were one of the richest women in town, but nobody told me you were so beautiful.
The days of the week.